This is an introduction to finding outside literature for the discussions in your lab reports. You'll need to find one primary research article for your first lab report and two for your second. We've put a link to Scopus on the course Moodle page. Alternatively, you can type Go Scopus in a search bar if you're on the MID network. Realize that Scopus is a paid-for service. Middlebury pays for it, so you have to be logged on to the network. Let's click on Scopus from the Moodle page to launch it. This opens the main search page. There are lots of features on this page, but we're going to focus just on the search term box for now. Broadly speaking, you can think of two types of literature searches: de novo or from scratch searches, where you don't have a starting paper, you just have some ideas of words, or a search in which you already have a starting paper that you know is a good paper, but you're just trying to find other ones that might kind of relate to it. So let's start with a new search, and let's start by using the terms furanocoumarin level. When using Scopus, and is an implied connector, so you don't need to type it. So in this case, the search is going to be for furanocoumarin and level. If you wanted to find the phrase furanocoumarin level, you'd need to put quotation marks around those two words. General knowledge about Boolean searches will be very helpful using Scopus or any other web page. So let's type that in and hit search. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Let's try that. There we go. 101 documents found. That is a lot of papers to search through, and so you might find it useful to use this search within result when you're getting 100 or so, 50 or so hits. So we're going to add leaf or leaves to that search term and ask it to refine to search within this result. Now we have 31 papers to search through, which is a much more reasonable collection to dig. Want to take your attention to this refining, searching within and refining, and scroll down here to show document type. So there are many different kinds of documents in the Scopus database, and in this particular collection of 31, there are 30 that are articles and one that's a review paper. You need the article kind of paper for your discussion. The review articles, though, can be very useful to give you an overview in the literature in a particular field, or as a source for papers through their literature cited and citation links. Let's go back to this list here, though, and come up to the top and just click on the first link. So the way you're going to look through your searches in general is to start by reading the titles. If the title looks like it's going to be useful to you, click on it. That takes you to a page that has a lot of information and also some useful links. So first thing you want to do is read the abstract. Does the paper look like it's still useful to you? If it does, go up here and click on Link to Full Text. That's going to take you in, open up a new page, take you to the Middlebury Library System, and take you to tell you whether or not Middlebury pays for a subscription to that journal. And in this case, they do, and you could click on Get Article, and that would take you to that article. You can see Middlebury has paid for medicinal chemistry research since 2004. We want to go back to here. One other note, if Middlebury doesn't pay for a subscription to that article, then you would need to use interlibrary loan. And then for purposes in Bio 145, we're going to discourage the use of ILL. It's very costly, and I really don't think it should be necessary for your papers. If you have a paper that you're dying to get, check with Dr. Backus or Dr. DeSimone, and we may have a copy of it for you to use. Let's go back to the Scopus page. And I want to point out some other information here. So the journal name, Medicinal Chemistry Research, the volume and issue, and the year. Don't need to put the date in your literature cited section. You do need the page. In addition, information for literature cited would be the article title as well as the authors. So if you're not sure how to format your literature cited section, go to the literature cited section in any of the chapters in your lab manual for examples of formatting. And that is all the information that you'll need to use is right here on this page in Scopus. Once you have a good paper, you can also use it as a launch pad for other papers. So this is the second type of search I mentioned. And the way you would do that is by using the cited since features and the related documents features. In this case, this paper was published in October of 2012 and has yet to be cited, so there are no links. In many of the papers, especially in older papers, you're going to see a lot of cited by that will take you to other papers that found this information useful, and you may find those papers useful. If you are working instead of from a primary article, but instead from a research or review article, in that case, when you click on the link, you may find that their references are useful. So you can see all of the references that this paper had. Scroll through those titles. Maybe some of the titles of articles in there sound interesting, and you can use them as a jumping off point. So this completes your brief intro to literature searching. Happy searching. Good luck with your papers.